Hi, this is Ron Stanfield. I want to welcome you to the Big Honker podcast.
Boom, and welcome to the Big Honker Podcast 500th episode.
What go ahead.
Did I do something wrong?
No, you're good.
Well,
I messed something up.
500th episode brought to you by Stanfield Hunting Outfitters. We're going to bring this by ourselves since this is about us.
The one and only Stanfield Hunting Outfitters, number 500.
Yep, and the creator of this podcast, we got to give props to who it is. This is all on Andy. It's Andy's fault that this ever existed. So my hat's off to you.
I appreciate it. It's been a wild ride. I was looking back last night, reminiscing.
We were horrible at first.
Well, I wasn't listening to them. I was just looking at the episodes. There's no way in hell I could listen to the first couple, but
I went back and listened
fun.
to one of them earlier, and it was bad.
Oh yeah, terrible. Wonder we've been around this long, but it's been fun. Getting to talk to different people from all different walks of life, and the friendships that's come out of this, and it's been fun.
You know, it's funny too because there's a good portion of our clients in our podcast, and it's not because we have a lot of new customers because of the podcast, but we have a lot of our old customers now listen to the podcast, and some of them really surprise me.
Yeah,
we had a group of preachers here not long ago, and they listened to the podcast, and I was kind of embarrassed. Kind of like it in town when I have the old lady will tell me, "Oh, I listen to your podcast every day," and I'm thinking, well, how in the hell did anybody show you how to even get to the podcast?
Or how you see this person, they're like, "How do I find your podcast?" You're not my demographic, lady. You are not. I'm not speaking to you. So
your Nana asked me about that the other day. Mm-hmm. She's like, "Oh, I want y'all to show me how to do this." No, you don't.
Not a shot in hell.
Yep, not at all.
It's been fun though. It has. One of the better decisions I've ever made.
Who's your outside of Mary and Jesse and having those two grandbabies I love so much? It's the best thing you've ever done. Who's your favorite guest we've ever had?
Favorite guest.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take out Wyman and I'm gonna take out Clay Reed.
Okay,
I'm gonna take those two out because those are two of our favorites anyways. And regulars. So who's your
Chef
favorite?
Jean Paul? I really enjoyed him. I don't know. Chef Jean Paul for sure. He's up there. I mean, I enjoyed the detective that we had on that worked the staircase murder case. I enjoyed that.
I've had very few that I haven't liked. I've had some.
I've had some I did not. There's been some fucking lemons.
Yeah,
for
there's
sure.
some that I did, and it's funny because to me they'll be bad, and then somebody goes, "Man, I just love that." When I'm thinking, "Oh boy, you weren't sitting in my seat."
Yeah.
I like the smuggler guy.
The smuggler. Forgot about him.
He was a very interesting guy, and I can't think of his name. Russell, maybe.
No. He did a big time podcast after us. A big one. What the hell was his name?
Interesting guy.
So interesting we can't remember his name.
Well,
yeah, he was interesting as hell.
Well, hell, I forget people will be on here, and you'll be like, "We had him on the podcast already." We did that not long ago too. He was one of my favorites. I thought it was Russell.
No,
was his name.
I'm finding it.
Starts with R.
I'm finding it. Just go on.
Anyways, he was one of the more interesting people we've had on here. I enjoy anything to do with the police officers, and they talk about all the weird shit they see.
Roger Reeves.
Yes. Very interesting guy. Ramsey Russell's one of my favorites because Ramsey's an interesting cat.
Yeah.
Really cool dude, and I really enjoy talking to him. And I enjoy the guides. We have the guides, and we do a round table, and we get a visit about stuff going on out here. And it seems to me the most popular ones we get are when me and you are just spitting what's going on in the world. We get a lot of feedback on that, and most all of it's positive. We get negative comments on every podcast we do. No matter who we do, someone's got something to bitch about.
Yeah.
Well, y'all should have asked this, and you should have asked this. My advice to those people: get you a podcast. You can ask whatever you want to, because it's not as easy as you think it is when you don't have You don't go by notes. We don't have a schedule.
Right.
I got asked to be on a podcast, and they sent me this form.
Really?
Yeah. Talk about this segment, this. That's not how I said, I don't want to do that shit. Just ask me some questions. I don't want to have to pre-think about everything I want to talk about.
Right.
You know? I'd rather just, let's just spit it out. So anyways, I want to thank everybody for listening to us and all the downloads we've had. We are pushing huge numbers, and it's growing every month. And on behalf of us and all of our sponsors, I want to thank you, and I wish you would visit our sponsors and let them know that you do listen to our podcast. That's how you hear about them. Every one of our podcasts. Send them an email, send them a message, say, hey, I hear about y'all on the Big Honker podcast all the time, and we appreciate it. Now we're going to do something different.
They are what keeps this thing for free.
We have a big YouTube deal we're coming out with this year. We have a crew that's coming in here to start filming. They're going to film here for a couple of weeks this year. We're going to do a series on our YouTube channel, the Big Honker Podcast YouTube channel. I do not know what the name of it is. It is sponsored by Boss Shot Shells, Stanfield Hunting Outfitters, and the Looking Glass Dug Club. It will be the sponsors for that. I really don't have much else to say. I guess we're going to dive into this. We're going to call people.
Yeah, so I posted yesterday in the podcast group that, you know, the reason that we've done this for so long, 3.5 years, if you can believe that being a long time, but, you know, we want to talk to some of our listeners. So posted in there that we want to talk to our listeners. They can, whatever. I mean, fuck, sky's the limit. They can ask us questions. We can talk about the podcast, just talk about them. I don't give a shit. So that's what we're going to do. Let's see. I'll get the first batter up. This is Drake Massey.
Hello.
Drake.
What's going on, man?
Hey, how are you, bud?
Oh, not too bad. Getting ready to go get me some lunch, man. How's it going?
Good. Well, you're actually our first caller. I knew you were trying to schedule your lunch around this, so we were going to knock you out and send you on your way. How you been, bud?
Oh, not too bad. Just working hard and trying not to.
Yeah, I understand. So you're from southern Indiana, right?
Yeah, I'm from, you know where Evansville's at?
Jeff.
Andy don't have a fucking clue.
Jeff, step up here.
Yes, I do.
Okay, well, I am southwest of Evansville. I'm at the furthest point of Indiana. Basically, from my house, it's about a 10-mile drive, and they got a sign down there that says furthest point of Indiana.
So you're basically close. You're Cape Girardeau, Missouri, and all. Well, they're a long way from you too, though.
We're basically to get to Kentucky, Illinois. It takes about 5 minutes, basically.
You're by the place where the Mississippi River basically makes an island of one part of a state that nobody claims, really, right?
Let's see. The Mississippi's a ways down from us.
Not the Mississippi, the whatever the fucking river is right there. Is it the
Ohio
River?
Wabash?
Yes,
Ohio.
Yes.
We basically where those two rivers meet at. That's exactly where we're at. That's where we do a lot of our hunting at.
It's Diamond Island, is what I'm thinking of.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I know the guys who used to own Diamond Island back whenever they used to kill all the geese in Indiana.
Yeah, that's supposed to be a hell of a place. So
yeah, after about 2000, it went away. All the geese left.
So Drake, what do you do for a living? If you're allowed to tell. Now, if you're a pimp or something, you don't have to tell that stuff.
No, that's my side job. That's not on taxes.
That's a side hustle.
But,
Gator don't fuck around.
Exactly. But I'm a welder. I've been a welder for about 8 years now.
Oh, nice.
That's a damn good job.
Yes,
you voted for Joe Biden, didn't you?
No, fuck no. No, I'm not retarded.
I'm not retarded.
No, I do like cheap gas, so I didn't vote for fucking Joe Biden.
Are y'all staying busy and all in this crazy time?
We're busier than ever. Steel is basically tripled for everything, and we're nonstop.
That's crazy. So how did you find the podcast?
Well, I was a buddy of mine. He was listening. I was just scrolling through, and I heard of you guys' podcast before, and I started this new job, and I said, well, I might as well start from episode 1. And I think I've listened to every single one of them about twice now.
Whew, we were just talking about that earlier. We're still not very good, but the first ones they're cringeworthy. It's tough to listen to.
Well, I mean, hell, all the ones I've listened to, all the first ones, they usually they're lower, and then they start getting a lot better as you get further and further on. You get used to doing it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We had no idea. I mean, look, I had no idea what I was doing when we were setting this up, and just talk is basically all that I knew what to do. So,
yeah, I mean, basically, whenever I realized you guys started getting really gassed, that's where I think it really picked up at.
Yeah, we ran out of waterfowl hunting shit to talk about after about the 7th one. We're like, fuck.
Yeah, you can always say the saying how to set a spread up the same fucking way so many times.
yes.
Yeah, it was a growing experience, but it was people that stuck with us the whole time that we learned from, and that's what made it so great.
Yes, exactly. I mean, you guys. I mean, it's different. It's not just all hunting. It's comedy related too. So you're not just sitting there thinking, oh well, I mean, I know that, and then you're gonna get a good laugh here every once in a while.
So, have you started hunting yet this year? Or y'all season not kicked off yet?
Ours, Indiana's been a veteran season starting, I believe it was last year or 2 years ago. And my dad's he was in the Army for I think 15 or 16 years, and I took him out this past weekend up for Indiana's broken up in 3 zones. You got northern, central, and southern. And it's a place called Goose Pond. It's in the central zone. It's about an hour and a half away north of Evansville. And theirs was this weekend. I took him up there. We got 33rd pick out of 44 parties. We still killed four or five ducks. He was happy.
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing wrong with that.
No, exactly. And then we got our veteran weekend this weekend. It's basically veteran and youth. Mm-hmm. And I got another buddy, another kid. He's going to go with us. And we know where the ducks are at down here. Up there, it's a lot to get up there, drive an hour and a half away just to scout.
Yes. Yeah, that's tough. So are you mainly doing water hunts, or is it?
Yeah, it's mainly big water hunts, big open water.
So you take a boat ride every morning?
Yeah, I got a 1652. It's the brand of a boat. I can't remember what it is right now, but Overcraft, I think. But I got a 30 horse Mariner on the back of it. We do pretty. I mean, for what we hunt, the Ohio, the Wabash. And we hunt at Hovey Lake. If you pull that up, I think it's a 1,400 acre lake, and that's where we do a majority of all our hunting. That's all public.
Now, where's it at now?
It's called Hovey Lake FWA.
Where's it from Evansville at?
Southwest.
He's looking right now.
I'm looking it up. I can't find it. It's a big ass river though over there.
Yeah. I mean, and plus whenever the Wabash gets up, and all the islands and everything like that. And that's last year. I think we went out. The river only came up high enough where we get in the islands for a weekend. And we hunted Saturday, then we did a scout the rest of the day Saturday, and then we found where they were at on Sunday. And as we were sitting there, it was just one of those days that they were moving. I mean, I'm not kidding you. We probably saw 6,000-7,000 pintail just alone that day.
Phew. Now, how's the hunting in southern Indiana? Is it pretty solid over the years, or has it kind of gotten worse, better?
17 was the last good year. That's the last year we had a good, strong winter. And, I mean, that's how it was. In 18, it just got hot. It never got cold. I mean, Christmas Day, I was hunting in a T-shirt.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And it was just – and then last year was pretty good because down there at Hovey's, they got – place called Rail Marsh. They try to plant it with corn and they flood it. And every year they've done that, the river comes up and just destroys all the corn. The past 2 years it hasn't done that. And last year it was phenomenal. You think of flooded corn, you're thinking nothing but puddle ducks, so mallards, pintails, and gadwall and stuff like that. People were shooting redheads, mostly redheads and cans, and a lot of just ringnecks and bluegills in there.
Yeah.
I see that lake now. That is a big lake.
Yeah, and up on the north zone right now, you can basically walk across it. It's bone dry.
Are you seeing any of the speckle bellies in your area? Because everybody's saying that they're just moving in.
Yes. We 2 weeks ago, that Goose Pond area I was talking about, they were holding about 200, 250 for about a couple days, and they booked it out. But yeah, we get a lot of specks down here.
And it wasn't that way 5 years ago, was it?
Not as many. We get a few. I mean, you get a few with a group of Canadas and stuff like that. But now you'd work. Guys are going out just to shoot specks.
That's crazy.
If you can find a good field.
That's crazy. These fuckers, they're invasive. They're an invasive species.
They're like Democrats in California. They've just fucking taken over.
And they keep spreading where you don't want them to spread.
That's exactly right.
I like specs, and I thank God every
I
day
think
we
if we
have
could
them.
shoot more of them,
We should be able to shoot 3, though, but our state of Texas, they're not the smartest people in the world with that. We should have a 3-spec limit, and I would be fine with just 3 dart geese.
We can shoot 5 up here.
You can shoot 5, and it don't make no sense.
We can shoot 5, and the past 15, 20 years, I think it's about 15, more 10 or 15 years, it's been 3 Canadas only. That's all you've been allowed to shoot. And then this year they opened up where we can shoot 5 Canadas a day.
We right now, I'll bet, have more specs than most places in the country will have all year, other than outside of Arkansas and a few other places. We probably, I would guess, we got 25,000 specs here already, and we will probably.
Are you guys going to hold those year round though, or will they start pushing out?
No, ours will stay here.
It'll grow.
It'll grow. We just at the start. These are just calendar birds. We've got a front coming in on Wednesday of next week. Our highs, some models are showing our highs in the 40s next Wednesday and Thursday. I hope they're right. But we'll have a bunch of specs, 75,000 specs here probably by mid-November to 100,000, I'm guessing. And we can shoot 2. And then there'll be places that hold 15, 20,000 Canadas, and they can shoot 5, and that makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean,
specs.
Back in the day, Indiana used to have a quota for Canadas, and down at Southern Indiana would fill it up within the first month of season, if not earlier than that. And they built them big power plants up in Chicago, and we just don't get the use anymore.
That's crazy. Things change.
It's that way everywhere. It's just a go-in deal.
Exactly. I mean, we're starting to get more and more, but it's like everyone's starting. And I think most of it's just locals that are up north in Indy. Because my girlfriend's from east of Indy, and we'll go up there. I mean, there'll be 7, 8, 9 fields that are just chock full. You can throw a rock, kill your limited geese.
Yeah.
That's what everybody says, and then they come down here and they're like, "God damn, where's them rocks at?"
Yeah. You guys are so flat, you barely got a sapling down there.
That's right. Well, Drake, listen, man, we're going to let you go here. We appreciate you listening to the podcast, and we're glad we got to talk to you a little bit.
Hey, and you guys killed them all this year. Good luck this season.
Thanks. We appreciate it, bud. You have a great day, and God bless you.
Bye. We got a special in-house guest next.
Eddie Blackburn.
Eddie Blackburn. Come to the center stage. Oh, damn. There we go.
Really does add 20 pounds.
Yeah, I'm really a lot thinner.
That don't look bad right there. Yeah. All right, Eddie Blackburn.
What's going on?
Now a Texas. You were a Texas resident last time we talked to you.
Yeah.
You just got the whole fam bam down now.
Yeah.
Tell you what, that is one cool thing. So you moved here. You were listening to the podcast. You want to hunt.
Yep.
Hunt it out here, and then you're like, we're moving.
Yep.
And, I mean, considering where you moved from.
Right. I'm a refugee.
So you leave. I'm looking for a freaking phone number I can't find from a guy. God dang it! I had a couple. So you come to Knox City. Mm-hmm. You're one of our police officers. I had court today too. I had a guy called you an asshole. But that's beside the point.
You did a good job.
Hey.
Yeah. No, he didn't call you an asshole.
Oh, I'd be surprised if he
He
didn't.
called Dakota one.
Poor little guy. He's having a rough day today.
I said, well, I can't argue with you, sir. He is kind of an asshole, but
Well.
you broke the law. Anyway, so you moved to Knox City, Texas with your family from
Yep.
California.
Yep.
Worked for Disneyland
Yeah.
to come to work for the city of Knox City.
Yep.
You like Knox City because you've been a big asset to our community.
I do. I love it here. My kids like it here. My wife's stuck with it here. So my wife works here too. My wife's a nurse. She works up at the hospital, and then I work for the police department, and then I'm the vice president of the fire board too.
Well, that is
It's just crazy how, I mean, you came and, like, you know, now you're a pillar of the community. Now we can't imagine not having the Blackburns here.
Just balls deep.
Yeah, exactly right.
me and Andy both. Andy's a world traveler. I get to go on some trips every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, he's world famous.
Yeah, that's right. World famous
It's-
guy should take world traveler.
All right. It's the world infamous Andy Shaver.
So Andy is gone, and you're checking his doors.
Yep.
I'm gone. You check on my doors.
Yep.
Our school superintendent, him and his wife went with us on
I scared
vacation.
the crap out of his
Out of his
Check-
daughter.
out of Aaron.
Checking the
but
doors.
checking the doors.
Yeah.
But that's what small towns are all about.
Yeah.
Now I want to get off of the assets you've been to the community, and I want you to tell people the whole story. Everybody thinks when you live by where we're doing this waterfowl operation that we've done for 30 years, it's just easy as hell to find a place to hunt and get on birds.
No.
It's very hard, isn't it?
It's hard. Yeah, it's
Everybody
hard as
thinks,
hell.
wow, you live in Knoxville, you get to hunt all the time, and you get on birds. It's tough because everything's leased up or in a
Or
small
private
area.
or yeah.
There's no public hunting here hardly at all. And the places
No.
that are public, I would not mention.
No, I ain't saying shit.
Guy,
I am saying not a thing.
guy a minute ago was spitting out information. I was thinking, ooh, somebody's going to get. I'm going to have a message tomorrow. Tell that motherfucker not to say that shit.
Can you edit that shit out? No, there's very, very little public land around here. And if you can get on it and find it, you're going to get that asshole that you get there at 4 o'clock in the morning and get set up. And he's there at 7 o'clock setting up 25 yards from you going, hey, that's a nice spread. Thanks.
Right.
Yeah.
So, or you get the guy that wants to go by on a boat and fuck everything up.
So it's not as easy as everybody. And everybody doesn't realize when you get out of the area that all the geese are at, there's not a lot of geese. There's ducks.
Yeah, there's a good amount of ducks. I mean, I had a great duck season last year, but I didn't hunt any geese or cranes or anything like that. Everything was leased up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is what it is.
I had a guy in town not long ago that had just moved here, was asking me about waterfowl hunting. And he goes, yeah, well, I'm going to get on some of them geese and stuff, so good luck. Well, why do you say it like that? I said, it's not as easy as you think it is. Oh, I saw some of y'all's videos. Yeah, we've been doing it a long time. We got a lot of stuff leased up. I said, anything that's good to hunt, you're going to have a hard time getting on.
Yeah.
I go, I'm not being rude to you. I'm just telling you right now, you're better off taking your spread and going up in the panhandle and knocking on doors somewhere than you are running around here.
Yeah, everything around here is tied up. And I mean, which is good for y'all, you know, and the other guys that are in the area. You know, you guys definitely are established. You know, you're not going to have a problem year to year. But I mean, if you get out there and you knock on doors, you take your kids with you, and you show an interest in conservation and hunting and willingness to work with the landowner, you're going to find places here and there that they'll still let you hunt on it.
There are some opportunities.
But you got to put in the work. It's not going to be just walk up to Joe Blow, knock on the door, and say, hey, I want to hunt. He's going to be like, hey, get the fuck off my property.
One of the problems that people from the outside have here is if you find a place that you can day hunt on, well, we're already knocked on a door, or not knocked on a door. We've already called somebody usually.
Yeah.
We scout hard.
Yeah.
And if there's a place 15 miles away from here that's got some birds on it, we're going to be out there just as much as you are.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it really tough. And I think it's getting to be that way just about anywhere. The social media has really changed all this.
Yeah. I mean, they call it e-scouting or whatever.
Yes.
You know, you get in groups on Facebook, and that's all guys talk about is, I'm hunting here, I'm hunting there. Like, there's a public lands group. That's all they talk about is where they're hunting at here in Texas on public lands. And it's like, why would you...
Why are you broadcasting
I mean, why
this
would you tell
information?
everybody, like, I mean, I've got 3 places that I hunt, and really 2 that have worked out. And if I take you there and I hear you saying that I took you there, I mean, I grew up like LAPD in the 90s. So,
Yeah.
like, that's my little honey hole. If I take you there, it's because I trust you. You know what I mean? Like, I put in the time and the effort, and I busted my butt and paddled my fat ass around in my canoe looking for ducks. And, I loaded my shit up the night before and got out at 3 a.m., got out there and set everything up. And I'm taking you there, as a treat, or I'm trying to get someone into, waterfowl hunting, and I want to show you a good time so that way you come around.
Don't screw it up by trying to go behind his back or going back there.
Exactly.
And that happens all the time to people. Texoma Jesus, the late J.J. Kent is what they called him. He was
Texoma Jesus.
They called him Texoma Jesus. He was a very good waterfowl hunter, and he had Ken Outdoors, and he passed away
2 years ago.
It's just longer than that. I think it was. But anyways, JJ passed away. I think it's 5 or 6 years ago. But anyways, when JJ passed away, though, prior to that, 3 or 4 years before that, they nicknamed him Texoma Jesus because he used to get on the refuge forums and those other deals, and he would post pictures. And it got where he would take a picture and he would take a black scroller and go all around, except just to picture him and the ducks, because people would try to, and they would get mad. Well, he could hunt every day. And a lot of times he hunted by himself, and he'd know a point would go to, but he killed a lot of ducks.
Right.
But the internet scouters, well, they used to,
They get on that,
they would be pissed first that he got to hunt and they didn't get to hunt. There was a lot of jealousy. 99% of it was people jealous of him.
Yeah.
But they called him Texoma Jesus.
The best hunt I had last year was on New Year's Eve, and it was snowing, and I was tucked up back in this little cove out at where I was, and I had no idea how bad it was. So I got out of that cove and was trying to paddle back with 4 dozen floater decoys and 2 kids in a canoe. And it was like, oh, shit, maybe I should have been paying a little more attention. But, I mean, we shot a ton of ducks that day. And, the kids had a blast, and, that's really all that matters.
That's exactly right. And my hat's off to you for that, for taking your kids on a hunt.
So they're already asking, Dad, when do we get to shoot ducks? And I'm like, soon. Just relax.
Well,
it's coming.
Your kid's getting screwed out of some goose hunting because early in the year when they had our season was normal, I would let you hunt because we wouldn't book up the first 2 weeks, and I wanted birds off my peanuts. So I would let y'all go hunt fields. It does me. You get to take your kids on a hunt, and it gets them off it keeps the birds off our fields. But now the dumbasses running the state the last 2 years.
They bumped everything back and screwed with the limits and stuff.
When is youth season? It's youth
Youth
season.
season was last weekend.
It's not. It doesn't run 2 weeks.
No, it's at the last.
They done it last weekend.
It's
it was I knew it was last weekend, but I didn't know.
I think it was the only time it was open. It was a ducking. I think it was just a waterfowl youth weekend.
Yeah. And then we've got our opener this weekend, 30-31, and then we got a week off, and then it starts regular season. So. And then with goose doesn't start until
the 13th.
It starts on my anniversary.
Duck season opens on duck season opens Saturday and Sunday, and I think it's closed down until the next
Monday through Friday, and then it opens Saturday
for good.
Yeah, and then it's through January 30th this year.
Yeah, I'll tell you how bad things are with the. We got tons of geese here. I've got a duck hunt for this weekend that I think I've canceled because we don't have a lot of ducks here right now.
Right.
And I'm going to make a decision tomorrow after this little front and see what happens and see if we get rain tonight.
Yeah.
But it has been a very weird start, but now it's looking like we're going to have some winter.
Well, I think next week it's saying we got a wintry mix on like the 2nd or something.
I've got Gabriel that works for us.
2nd or 3rd.
Is full-time every day running geese off peanuts. Wow. That's all he does. He sits out there every morning and keeps them off of our fields.
And in the evening time.
And in the evenings. And we have to do that. Because yesterday Andy had a video with 5,000 birds on our peanuts. And they've just got it done, and they're just everywhere.
I was sitting out running traffic the other night in Lynn Electric's parking lot, catching people coming into town faster than they needed to be. And I could hear the geese coming in. And Larry, the game warden, a great dude, he rolled up, and he and I were talking, and he's like, oh, yeah, south of here there's a ton. And I'm like, well, it's the peanut fields.
Yep.
It's the peanut fields and the hay grazer. There's that, big water down there, stuff like that. So, I mean, but that's all stuff you guys have tied up and other people have tied up.
We've got a lot of geese. We could be running hunts tomorrow. We could have been running hunts for the last week, and we will start. But anyways, we appreciate you being
on. He's our resident Mormon.
Oh,
the soaking.
Oh, yes. We've got to talk about that. I'm glad.
Well, I think Andy wants to talk about the marinating.
Hold on, but first of all, put the rumor to rest. Soaking is.
I grew up in the church, and I've never heard of that.
Okay.
Ever.
All right.
Maybe you were dating the wrong girls.
No.
No, boy, I wouldn't go into there.
Just stop.
We would love to hear that story, but if I was you, I would stay away from it. As a friend, I'm going to tell you, don't tell that story.
My wife knows it, so it's all good.
Oh, then tell it.
Well, no, I mean, my ex, her dad was a stake president, so I mean, if anyone was going to be up on that, it'd be her stupid ass. But I mean, growing up in the church and whatnot, I'd never heard of. When you called me, I was like, I started laughing. My wife was in the bedroom getting ready for work, and I asked her, I said, "Babe, you wouldn't believe this shit." And she goes, "What?" So I told her. She started laughing about fell off the fucking bed.
Never heard of it before.
Never heard of it in my entire life. I even texted some other friends that are like super devout, like they hold callings in the church and have gone to the temple and served missions and stuff like that. I texted them like, "Have you ever heard of this?" And they're like, "It's all bullshit."
Yeah, that's a silly workaround. If that was a loophole, that's the craziest loophole that I've ever even heard about.
Your deal would make a good shirt.
Oh, yeah, poop hole's not a loophole.
Poop hole's not a loophole?
But like I said, I've always thought of that as like the finish line. Like when you get to this point, game's over, everybody enjoyed themselves, there's no going back,
right?
It's over.
Well, that's like getting on a waterbed and just sticking it in and doing the worm.
And that's marinating?
Well, no, that's the gay version.
Oh, that's the gay version.
That's what I saw on TikTok.
Oh.
You're watching gay TikTok?
Well, it should just pops up on TikTok.
It just pops up on
Well, when you start looking for soaking, random shit, don't do that. Don't Google soaking.
Oh, I've done that. And I'm not even a TikTok guy, but I have learned that once you start watching TikTok, it's hard to stop watching it.
Yeah.
You can waste 15 minutes and nothing.
Right. Yeah.
That fast.
Quick. You're like, oh my God, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm not a TikToker for that reason.
Marinating is where the two gay guys,
So that's a gay. Marinating is gay.
Marinating is the gay
soaking
thing.
is straight.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Allegedly, according to TikTok. I mean, I'm not an expert.
There's not many gay Mormons though.
What are there gay Mormons?
Why would there be any different that?
Huh?
That should be the same stat as anybody else.
There's cross-dressers here. Well, he lives in Haskell.
He's Mormon?
No.
What do you? So you don't think that there's many?
So.
The percentage. So you think the gay percentage doesn't hit the Mormon church?
Yeah, I think they're exempt.
You don't think you don't think being straight's normal, regular?
I never said that.
You did too. Do you think being straight's normal?
I never said that.
Yes. I do too. Yes. Yes, you did. What'd you say?
I never said that.
What'd you say?
I said, let's look
"Do
at
you
the
think?"
statistics.
And he didn't want to touch it. But yes, being straight is normal.
You know, when Andy's door was open that day that I checked his house, I did notice some weird stuff.
That don't surprise me. Peanut butter and a dog. So
And a swing. I don't understand the swing. I wasn't sure how that was working.
What do as a Mormon dude,
Uh-oh.
and you grow up in the Mormon church? Do you first of all?
I'm
we're
probably
gonna,
the worst Mormon to ask this.
we're gonna go to soaking first.
Uh-huh.
If there really is soaking, and I'm sure there really is. There's kids doing this.
People are stupid.
Yes.
So
I'm saying it's not a threesome.
I think that's, well,
Maybe a 2.5ism, but not a threesome.
Stoner.
it's a group project.
Yes.
I don't. Agree.
Yes.
Because, well,
So like,
Because here's what Stoner said. Stoner said, "Well, is it a threesome if you're having sex in the back of a car and somebody's driving?"
like a Uber?
They're not actively participating in.
if they're taking turns real fast, they are.
Well, yeah.
Speed
I
bumps.
mean, it
They hit that
depends.
dip in front of City
Yeah.
Hall.
Like,
maybe.
like, are we just driving like 30 miles an hour around town until we're done? Like, that's not a threesome. But like, if they're like hitting bumps and like mashing the brake and all that stuff for you, well, you know, now we're kind of we're into some murky territory.
Let's go to
here.
19-year-old Eddie, okay?
Oh,
19-year-old Eddie.
Uh-huh. Doing
And-
stuff I shouldn't have been doing. 'Cause That's what
and-
19-year-olds do. Huh, Andy?
Jedediah or whatever the Mormon girl is.
Jedediah.
I don't know a Mormon name for a girl. So anyway, Jedediah for the boy and Jedediah for the girl.
There we go.
And Jedediah and you are planking or soaking
Soaking.
or whatever
Soaking.
the fuck it's called.
Uh-huh.
And her friend Abigail
Oh, Jesus.
jumps up and down on the bed. Are you going to school the next day and telling the other Mormon boys, "Hey, we had a threesome"? Or are you just going to say,
I would
got to
say,
soak"?
here's what I would say. I would say Abigail
Well-
got me off.
What is it? See, I don't think.
I mean,
it's
I
a
was
threesome.
I was already in the military at 19.
Well,
So, I
which
mean,
is
I was
17-year-old.
I
I
was-
didn't want to get in trouble for child porn here.
No,
so I was,
I mean, for clout, yeah. Because I mean, come on, I'm 17. I don't know anything. I'm a stupid boy.
so you think it's a threesome?
I
no,
would-
but I'd use it for clout.
I was having sex with
That's-
Jedediah,
That's
and
like Joe
Abigail
Biden
got
saying
me
that, hey,
off.
look, gas prices are through the fucking roof. Economy's great.
Yeah,
Wrong.
yeah.
See, I have to.
I was
disagree
having
on that.
sex with Jedediah, and Abigail got me off.
Now,
Is what I would say.
as a Mormon,
Mm-hmm.
how come you only have one wife?
And look, I can't even keep her happy.
Well, I understand. Yeah, I understand that part of the deal. Anybody that's got a wife or has had a wife would think there's no fucking way to have more than
No,
one wife.
she tells me what to do enough. So, I mean, and then I got Kennedy,
So
my 9 going on 30-year-old. So
Did you deal with any? Did you know anybody that?
that's not a mainstream Mormon thing. There's like a splinter section that stayed way back in the day when the church was first formed. That was something that was done. So like it started. My understanding, which is someone's probably going to text you or Facebook
Oh,
me
we'll
or
get
whatever. I'm
corrected on
sure we'll get
everything. We just
corrected
do on
'cause,
everything.
You know, everyone's a fucking expert.
Right.
But like it started as like a taking care of the family thing. So if coming across the plains in a covered wagon, Andy gets schwacked by fucking Indians, I would just
Which
take his
happened.
family. I would just take his family into mine, and then I'd have 2 bossy women telling me what to do and a bunch of kids that don't
So
listen.
it didn't start out as a sex deal. It just started
It-
taking care of families.
It started taking care of family, but then it turned into, well, I'm going to make, not necessarily build my empire, but I'm going to start with, I'm going to have, my wife and then this wife and then another wife, and I'm going to have 300 kids. And then I'm going to be, it turned into a status and power thing.
Do you think Jedediah was ever hoping that Dobie would get killed because Dobie's wife was real hot? And he was like, I hope the Indians get his ass. I can have her too.
I mean, anything's possible, but yeah, I think back in the day, when you could smack your wife for looking at you wrong,
Right.
you didn't get nagged at for mowing the yard. You get bitched at for
That's
taking
a
the trash
really
out.
good point.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
this was when we could just handle
Yeah.
business.
Indian and squaw type deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We made things too easy for these women. But what was that? What was that thing that I watched that I was telling you about? It was about the golden tablets. The guy said he.
It was in addition to the Bible.
Well, no, what it was is this guy was a forger, and he forged something that said he basically framed it as this is what it was it was a salamander letters is what it was. Let me find it. Anyway,
I didn't know salamanders could write.
It's way
yeah,
over my head.
exactly. But this guy sold it to the Mormon church. He said, I've got the salamander letters, and it was basically who was it? Was John Smith?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Let me look.
Brigham Young was under John Smith, right? You're not a very good Mormon here. This is Mormon history.
No,
You should
I
know
want to
this.
make sure I get this right because, like I said, I'm sure someone's going to correct me. So Brigham Young was the founder of the church. Joseph Smith.
Joseph
Joseph
Smith.
Smith.
So
Yeah.
Brigham Young was actually the first one
He was among the first ones. Yeah, he was one of the founders of the church.
Okay.
Was he a big? How did he politicize himself to be the main guy there? Was he a self promoter? I guess.
I think. Yeah. I mean, they don't really.
They were rough people because I've watched some documentaries on the Mormons, and they didn't put up a lot of shit.
No.
Them old men were some crazy old fuckers.
Yeah.
The Salamander Letter was a controversial document about the history of the Latter-day Saints movement that later they found out it was forgery. The letter was one of hundreds of documents concerning the history of the Latter-day Saints movement that surfaced in the early 1980s. The Salamander Letter was presented a view of the life of the movement's founder, Joseph Smith, that stood sharply at odds with the commonly accepted version. Anyway, this guy, what he would do is he became a master forger, and he went to the Mormon church and he said, listen, I've got this letter that Joseph Smith wrote, and it's not in line with anything that he says. And they were getting ready to like pay him millions of dollars to pay him off. And then he got crossed with somebody else, and they ended up like blowing him up or some shit. And then when they blew up his car, they found all the shit that he had been forging all these documents with.
Oh, damn.
But when you watch the first couple of episodes and it's talking about the Salamander letters, you're like, what the fuck? Like, how did this even happen? And then like he ended up just being a con artist. It was a good show. I think it was on Netflix.
There's a guy that did that in Arizona too with the what's that called? The Dutchman's Mine. All that money that mine that's
supposedly
missing.
up in there. Yeah.
Supposedly a guy conned a bunch of. They had a Paradise Valley over there or something, big farming area, and he scammed a bunch of people for years.
Murder Among Mormons is what it is.
Murder Among Mormons.
It's on Netflix. It was a good show.
Did you ever watch Hell on Wheels?
That's a very good show, and that shows fucking the Mormons don't put up with no bullshit.
No, it's Fort Smith.
Yeah. So John Smith or Joseph Smith was the founder, but Brigham Young is the one everybody knows by now. So see, the non-Mormons like me think BYU's the big guy.
Well, because it's BYU. Yeah,
it's an interesting take on this whole deal. So you're not open to having multiple wives, is what you're telling us?
No.
Yeah, good answer.
No. Like I can't even keep the one I have happy.
I don't think there's such thing as a happy wife.
No. Well,
that old story, happy wife, happy life. There's happy times.
Yep.
And there's miserable days.
There's some days you're just hauling ass through town and you remember that speed bump in front of City Hall, and then there's not. It's like the other night when you're hauling ass through town, forget about that and catch air.
You know,
you're like, oh shit, my bad.
A guy said, a woman is like a swimming pool.
Uh-oh.
There's a whole lot of upkeep, maintenance, and a lot of money to be spent for the little bit of time that you get to spend in it.
Oh, I thought you were going somewhere else with that.
And I thought that's damn truth, though.
Yeah.
A lot of truth to that. All right, Eddie, we appreciate you being on here.
And listen, if the podcast has done anything great, it was bringing you guys here. We're proud to have y'all in Knox City. And if there's anything good that has come out of me and Jeff talking, it's this. It's that you guys are here. We're proud to have you.
And we love it here. The kids are great. I know William played football for you this year, and that's all he's talked about. He's bummed he missed that last game, but that was all. Some
that was a deal.
If everyone listening to this podcast would do like you and get the fuck out of California and move to a small town, they'd be a whole lot better off.
They need to move to Haskell.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying they need to, but I'm just saying if you'll get out of those big cities anywhere in the United States and get your families out.
And that's the big thing that we were looking at. It's like, look, you have 100,000 people that vote conservative, but you have, and you're out in an area, majority of your area is all conservative, but you look at the population of just the city of Los Angeles, you're fucked. No one's going to listen to what you have to say because you have that just black hole of bullshit in LA where they just hand shit out, and you're not going to bite the hand that feeds you.
Southern California and the San Francisco Bay Area and Silicon Valley have ruined a great state.
There's been a big chunk. I think you guys have talked about it before, the state of Jefferson. It's that Central Valley of California, that whole section. They've tried to secede. They've had enough signatures, and then the Attorney General, Javier Becerra or whatever, refused to, acknowledge it, that he refused to validate any of the signatures or anything like that. And you drive through the Central Valley, and it's all ag. It's 100% agriculture. You get to Bakersfield, and it's like driving through Midland, Odessa. Like, there's a town called Oildale. It's a shithole, much like Odessa and Pecos and Monahans and all that, but it's all oil field. You see Halliburton trucks everywhere. You would seriously think you're in West Texas.
Yeah, they're misrepresented there big time.
Yeah.
And it's not just there. It's Western Washington or Eastern Washington, Eastern Oregon.
And I've got a brother that lives in Oregon, and he does concrete pumping. That's, his company is concrete pumping. He's got a brother-in-law that owns a logging company. And when you go to where he's at in the Willamette Valley, it's all red. They all vote for Trump. And then you get into Eugene, and it's a little bit of hippies, but they're conservative hippies. It's weird. Right. But then you get to Portland, and Portland is like the main mecca hub for all these idiots. It's a shithole. But it's it's pretty much anarchy there.
And it's Seattle same way. It's that way. There's a lot of places. Everywhere on the West Coast, you get to Nevada, you get outside of Las Vegas, everything. Everybody thinks it's anywhere in the United States. When you get out of the big Uber cities, everyone thinks like-minded. Everybody wants the same things. Everybody wants their kids to have a chance to be successful, to have more than they grew up with, and to be safe. And be able to eat and have a warm house, everything that we all want the same things.
When we lived in California, I was a supervisor for Disney. I drove a truck for them. I worked in their logistics division. I made close to $35 an hour. My wife's a nurse. She made about $30 an hour, $65 an hour combined. We still couldn't afford to live in California.
Making $500 a day.
Like that's ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
We were paying. She's going to correct me on this. I know she is. But I want to say like a month, we were paying almost $3,000 a month in just daycare for 3 kids. And it's like, can y'all grow up and go to school? And then, everything with William, his type 1 diabetes, he's on an insulin pump, has a glucose monitor, stuff like that. The insurance through Disney was great, but you couldn't afford anything else.
Right.
It was just so expensive. Gas is up around, I think I shared, a buddy of mine sent a picture.
Is it $7?
It was, where he was at was right off the 5 in the city of Commerce, and it was almost $6 a gallon.
Whew.
And he's like, this is right across the street from my truck yard. Like, we are taking trucks across there every single day, rental trucks, box trucks, and we're filling them up to send out with customers. And, we're not recouping that. We're hitting the loss on that. Yeah. And then registration's ridiculous. I've driven an 04 F-150 with 235,000 miles on it. My tags in California would be almost $500.
That's crazy.
I pay $75 here a year.
Yeah.
And gas is what, $3.19 at Allsups, I think is what I paid. So I can't complain. The cost of living here is cheap. The
$3.19 for gas is ridiculous, but
that is ridiculous. But
what it is right now.
I've got a short commute.
Yes.
In the mornings I go to the hospital, and then the afternoons I just walk to my driveway.
Right.
So it's great. And the community here has been absolutely amazing. The teachers here, like I've got friends that are teachers, and I'm like, why can't y'all be like the teachers that my kids have? And they're like, well, I've got 40 kids in my class. Your kid's got 10.
Yeah. A lot more one-on-one opportunity for your kids.
Yeah. And I mean, they've done amazing. My oldest graduates this year, so he's looking at going to veterinarian school. I'm like, well, you could pull your head out of your ass.
Living in a small town anywhere in America has a lot of advantages. It has a few disadvantages, but with technology today, they can take college classes while they're in school. There's there's more reasons to live in a small town, and I understand people that can't because their jobs are there. But we're seeing a big increase in Knox City of people that are remote working now that have sold their homes in the big cities and moved to Knox City and put a bunch of money in the bank. They can sell a house for $500,000 somewhere and buy a nice house here for $100,000. And
with acreage out in the country, so they don't have any neighbors.
And put some money up to go on vacations.
That's right.
Yeah.
Anyways, we appreciate you being on here, bud.
Right,
Thank you very
for
much.
coming out here.
I'll make sure we're busy next Tuesday.
No, don't do that.
Don't do that. You don't want a full courtroom again?
I don't care. I had people today. It was very quiet. It was kind of quiet today for a day. So, but every it doesn't matter. It goes by faster when there are people there.
Jeff likes it that way.
Well, I wrote a couple last night. You should enjoy.
There you go.
They didn't come see me today.
No, I don't think he's gonna.
Oh no, he didn't. I put that fine in the fine book. He did not show up, and no, he won't for a while.
Thank you for
All right,
coming
All
out
right,
here.
guys, be good.
Grab you a cookie on the way out there, Eddie.
I'm gonna eat all of Clay's cookies.
You take that up with him.
I'll fight him. I don't care.
There.
What time is he coming in so I know where to sit?
He should be in about 30 minutes.
Oh,
He texted me 30 minutes ago, and he says on his way.
I'm gonna go sit it by the four-way and get him.
See you, bud.
Thank you.
Bye. What number you got there, Hefe?
Johnny
well,
Key.
hold on. Don't.
Here,
Let me look at it.
I'll show you.
Okay.
Hello.
Johnny, Jeff Stanfield, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing wonderful. We're going to put you on here. We're fixing to go do our thing. You ready?
Hell, I guess so. What are we?
Whatever you want to talk about.
Oh, well, shit. That's a broad statement just to throw out there like that.
Well,
We can talk about whatever you want. Jeff's penis size, it doesn't matter.
Damn world famous says he don't give a shit then.
nope, he don't. Whatever you want to talk about, we're good with.
We're an
hell yeah.
open book. So your A17 area code, where are you out of?
I'm in Aledo. I'm from Aledo.
Oh, okay. All right. Nice little corner of the state.
Well, it was. There's people pouring in left and right, but it's still not too bad. Honestly, I'd rather be further out where y'all's direction, but I don't have any work out that way, so it is what it is.
What do you do for a living?
I work construction. I do metal building and stuff. My dad owns a construction company, so goddamn Ollie always makes a fucking racket.
Fucking, he was eating a cookie.
Oh, I saw them some bitches on Facebook a minute ago. My fat ass was like, God damn, they look like some good cookies.
Yeah, and Ollie just snagged one. That son of a bitch.
Oh, hell. Well, I can't blame him. Oh, damn it.
Did he really get did he get a cookie?
He tried.
I'm going to move him.
He damn sure
He
tried.
gave it hell.
He did. So have you
Y'all
been
busy?
do what?
No, go ahead.
Have you been doing any duck or dove hunting?
We went up. I got some places kind of east of Lubbock. We went and tried to shoot some dove a little bit. Not real big into dove hunting. So I mean, we went up there and drank some beer and fucked around a couple of weekends. But
you said east of Lubbock?
Yes, sir, east of Lubbock.
Where at?
Kind of south of Rawls.
Oh, okay.
South of Rawls and Crosby County.
Okay, I know where you are.
Yes, sir. I got a buddy of mine, his grandpa and his uncle. They got a bunch of stuff up there, so we got on it for this year. Like I said, we went to try it for dove season, see what it was like. But
it was an absolutely terrible dove season.
Yeah, it wasn't real hot. Well, I say that. Hell, we went the second and third weekend and probably killed 30, 40 birds a weekend, maybe, with 6-8 guys, maybe. And I got a buddy of mine that grew up a couple years younger than me playing baseball at Tech this year, and he called me. He's like, "Hey man," he's like, "me and my buddies got done with practice earlier." He's like, "You got anywhere we can go shoot some birds?" And I told him to go out there and shoot some birds. They shot a 5-man in 35 minutes.
Ooh.
Right after practice, probably a week and a half ago.
And he plays for Tech baseball?
Yes, sir. Yeah, he's a freshman up there this year.
They should be pretty stout again this year, shouldn't they?
I bet they will be. I haven't looked into them too terribly much, but I mean, hell, they damn sure have a football team, but baseball's something they seem to savvy. So
we are a springtime school now. We are a spring sports school. We are good. Well, I mean, who knows now with Beard gone?
When in the world was Tech a fall-time school anyway? I grabbed you for 2 years when I was like fucking 10, and that was it.
I agree with you.
2007.
I've been wondering for that too. Andy says all the time, we're a spring sport now. What the fuck? We're going back to 1947?
2007.
What are we doing? Y'all did do good in the border conference when you played against Arizona State, New Mexico schools.
It's easy to beat the hell out of some D3 programs.
That's right.
I mean, hell, they let TCU do it sometimes.
There you go.
What a day for me to be wearing my Texas Tech shirt, too.
Well, you're a proud graduate.
I am.
Good day for it.
Right.
Y'all had a bunch of people on today?
When we finish up the schedule, we're going to have anywhere from 5 to 10 people. It depends how long we go with everybody. You're number 3 so far.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So
we've been going almost a fucking hour, and we've had 3 people.
So tell me about how'd you start? Did you ask him when I was putting Ollie up how he started? How'd you find the podcast and become a podcast listener?
I've listened to them once or twice, kind of just dipping into some waterfowl podcasts and stuff before. And then, actually, I saw y'all at Squad Fest. I talked to you for a minute. Andy was off signing autographs and titties or whatever he was doing. But, no, Helen, y'all had the fucking shade spot, man. So I sat under there in the fucking shade and drank beer and listened to y'all. Man, these fuckers kind of funny. So I hopped on the train and started listening. Now I don't even listen to the damn radio anymore.
Well, I do appreciate that very much. And
oh yeah, hell, like I said, it's a good time. Y'all got some good shit to talk about, good shit to listen to. It's a lot better than most other shit people ramble on about.
Are you going to Squad Fest next year?
Oh yeah, I'll be there for sure. I wouldn't miss it.
They moved it to the middle of July.
I saw that shit as if they weren't trying to kill my fat ass bad enough.
Oh, that's the hottest I've ever been in my entire life last year.
Boy, you ain't kidding. I worked construction my whole life growing up here, like outside of Fort Worth. So I know fucking hot. That shit was miserable up there.
Oh,
it
was
brutal. God almighty.
The beer was cold.
Brutal. It was. The beer was cold. They were like $3 a whack. It was a good time.
The only time I can
good
remember.
Time for damn sure by them boys.
The only time in my life I can remember ever being that hot was in 2-a-days in 1985. I'm serious. I've never been that hot before in my life.
It was muggy.
It was miserable. Woof.
Yeah, it was just the damn humidity was so bad. And it did hit a hot stretch. It was like 94, 95 and still that goddamn humid. It was rough.
And the boys
It was a rough time.
And the boys from Cadillac Creek were in their urban cowboy outfits. God almighty.
I saw that shit. That was a hell of a get up. They're kind of fucking making us look goofy up there for them people in St. Louis.
Listen, not all Texans dress like this.
It's not a Brokeback Mountain.
I'm at Guggenheim up there too, and I told him I was from Alito. He's like, "Oh shit, I'm from Weatherford." I was like, "God damn, don't tell her that in that fucking shirt." Jesus.
That's no shit.
Good Lord.
The rosy bullet holes all over it.
Who the hell did you call him, Porter Wagner?
Yeah. What the fuck it looked like? Thought I was watching
fuck.
fucking the Grand Ole Opry from 1969 when he came walking through there.
Fuck, it's like I was hanging out at my grandma's house watching fucking TV all over again, man.
They flew in that
How
way
y'all
too.
fixing to look? Y'all booked up? Y'all booked up for this year? Y'all looking good this year?
Yeah, I've got a few days left. I mean, if we didn't sell another hunt the rest of the year, we're solid. We'll be busy all season long. It's gonna be a busy year. We got a lot of geese here now, and we got we're supposed to have big storms tonight. Y'all are going to get some big rain tonight, probably about 2 a.m. where you're at. We're supposed to have it around midnight. If we can get some big rain tonight, we're supposed to be a north wind tomorrow, maybe push some birds in. But next week, we're supposed to have a big front, a big-ass front that's supposed to go from Canada to here. So we may really be covered up with geese for the first of the year. So.
I hope so. I hope it freezes every one of them fucking Yankees out and sends them all here.
Well,
I hope so.
I hope you're right also. They got ice eaters now up there.
After them making fun of us, they need some cold weather.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they were bitching about that shit last year.
Mm-hmm.
Making fun of us. Oh, you pussies don't know how to handle the cold. Fuck you. You don't handle this cold either.
It's one thing, like, listen, I could dress for cold, but when you shut my fucking power off, like, we're going to have some issues here.
Yeah, that's a whole different ballgame, man. I was over at a buddy of mine's house because it was right there. Oh, I want to say it was right there at the end of the season. I had a little tank, like the last day or two. We were just going to hunt over at my dad's house just to dick off, and it wound up freezing over solid. And me and him were both at his house. We wound up not being able to leave and hunt it at all because the trucks wouldn't start. The house didn't have no power to plug the some bitches in. We were just fucking stuck like Chuck.
Jesus.
I had a guy in Vermont make fun of me over that shit. He goes, "Oh, y'all got a little cold last year and y'all didn't know what to do." I said, "Yeah, well, let me see your bitch ass get about 110 and see how you can handle that shit."
Yeah, bring the fucking Yankees down here in August.
I told him, we're not used to it. I said, we don't have the infrastructure for it. I said, our plumbing. I said, it don't happen. I said, if it happened every 5 years, everybody's plumbing would be deep. But I said, this is a once in 50-year storm. But I hope we get it again.
Absolutely.
I hope we get it again in November.
Yep. I'm right there with you.
I'd love to have a Thanksgiving. We got to all huddle around a fucking wood burning stove because it's so cold the power's off.
That would be nice.
It would be a nice deal.
Might have a third baby on the way.
You got a third baby on the way?
I said, no, if that happened, I might have one.
Oh, I got you. I was like, shit, I thought you'd been saying you were done with that.
No, I am. What were you about to ask?
Whatever got y'all how'd y'all get into the podcast deal? I mean, whatever y'all decided to get put on that, or what kind of got y'all rolling on the podcast?
It was February, and hunting season had just ended, and I was bored, and I was thinking, you know what? I'm pretty knowledgeable about waterfowl hunting, and Jeff is good with people, so I feel like we've got a good combination here to where we can pretty well talk to anybody that's out there and hold our own. And 500 episodes later, I think that we've done an okay job of that at least.
Well, hell, I would say so. I'd say so for sure.
It's been a really good run.
Yeah, for sure. It has been. Like I said, I've really enjoyed listening to y'all bullshit. It's normally a good time. I like it.
Well, the bullshit
y'all
comes
have
natural.
Yeah, well, I believe that. I've got that in my back pocket too. Some people got it.
Yeah. That's right. But
did y'all have the Coyote Man on this morning too? Or
no, he's on. He's on
there?
Next. He's on at 2:30.
Yeah, Clay's going to be a separate podcast. We're going to do this 500th podcast, and we'll do Clay, and Clay will come out the next day. We're doing a new one with him, and then, or I don't know if he'll be the next one. We did one yesterday with Arliss Reed from Habitat Flats, and that'll be the 3 podcasts for the week.
Hell yeah. That's good. It'll give me something to listen to on the way to Lubbock at the end of the week.
Well,
You going up there to hunt?
Yes, sir. Crane's open Saturday. I'm going to be there for sure.
Oh yeah, that's right. Y'all do get 3 extra weeks of crane hunting that we don't. Thanks a lot, State of Texas.
Yeah, I
Bang up
don't
job.
know why they fuck y'all like that. That's fucked up, isn't it?
Yeah, and I just need to stop and listen to the guy so he can tell me why. I think when I'm getting fucked, I know it.
I'm sure he's got a great reason. I'm sure he's got a great reason he learned in a book.
Didn't have one. That's what's amazing about the whole deal. Talk, but couldn't tell me a fucking reason. You show me black and white why, and I'll say, okay, that's a good point. But they don't have a good point. They don't. It's been that way forever, so they've kept it on the cranes. And then the goose, they thought, ooh, we'll give them some opportunities to hunt in February when we don't have any fucking birds and nobody does.
Yeah,
So,
y'all damn sure don't. I mean, hell, I was in the January last year. I was in the Panhandle, like way up north, and it was getting fucking thinned in.
Yep, it does.
And that's a few hundred miles north of y'all.
Even on years that we have a cold winter all winter long, the days get longer, the birds start going north. It's just like the birds that are here now. We have calendar birds that are here. A lot of those birds are calendar birds, and they're going back fucking north with the calendar also, so it works two ways.
Yes, sir.
But
Absolutely
you can't get them to do that. Well, Johnny, we appreciate you being on here, bud. Great texting.
Hey, man, I appreciate you giving me a holler.
You bet. Love to have you come out and see us sometime. If not, we'll come by and I'll let you buy Andy a beer at St. Louis.
This time, just come up, say hi. I know I'm intimidating to be around, but just come say hello.
They call that world famous. It really throws me off. If somebody with a head that big, I've never met anybody with a head bigger than mine. So.
I understand. Well, listen, if we don't see you on the road here, whenever you're going back and forth to Lubbock, you're welcome to stop in. We'll see you up in St. Louis next year.
Hell yeah, I appreciate it, boys. Y'all have a good day, good season, good luck.
See you, bud. Good luck.
You.
Bye. Johnny King. All right, let me go to the handy dandy notebook.
Patrick Rasmussen.
Oh yeah. I did say I was going to call him. 0. See what old Patty Boy has to say.
He lives by Payne.
Does he?
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Patrick. Hey, it's Andy with
Yeah.
the Big Honker Podcast.
Yeah, hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, good, I can't complain.
Now you're up around Payne, Jeff just told me.
Yeah, I'm at JBLM.
Right down the road, same place.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you stationed at Joint Base Lewis McCord, right?
Yep.
Yeah. No, I'm just walking outside my work building now.
Now you've been in, you said what, 25 years?
22 years active, and then when I did, my job became a civilian job, so I just applied and got hired as a civilian working for the federal government.
So you're making 3 times the money doing the same job.
It's a good amount. Yeah, I can tell you that much.
It's crazy how that works, though. They train you in the Army to do something, and then Payne was talking about that, and I'm thinking, no wonder our government's fucking broke.
Yeah. No, I'm just hopping in my truck, though, just so you know, so I can have some privacy.
There you go. No problem. We got nothing but time.
So
okay,
what are you doing in the Army? Can you talk about that, or is it a top secret deal?
Well, hold on 1 second. Let me get on CarPlay here so
All
I
right.
can. There you go. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, so is this recorded right now, or we're not?
No,
Yes,
we're recording.
We're recording. So whatever you want to.
Oh, yeah.
If you're telling us you work with UFOs and shit, we won't talk about it.
Yeah, no, so I'll just say that I work for an agency within the Army, and we'll just keep it at that if we could.
You
sure.
probably work with Payne then somewhere.
That sounds a lot. Whenever we ask Payne what he does, that's a similar answer that we get.
Yeah. So there's a lot of moving parts and like a lot of like non-disclosure agreements and stuff. So I just kind of keep it low key, you know.
Keep it vague. Keep it vague. So
Yeah.
have you
keep it vague.
have you seen anything in your career that has sent like a shiver down your spine that made you worried about the future?
Well, of course, all the third world countries I visited, and then you got the Russia and China influence, where if Russia and China were to want to tag team the United States, I mean, that would be a good fight.
Do you think that would ever happen?
I hope not, but, you know, we're always planning for the future, right? And you got to know who your adversaries are and how to war game to make sure that you can defend, the United States of America and then any other country that we're allies with too, because as resources dwindle and politics are ever foremost in the forefront, right? So it's all about just defending your stake of the territory,
Yeah. Do we have? I mean, my thinking is if Russia and China got together, that would be two superpowers. Do we have a superpower that would come to our defense?
We don't need one.
I mean, we got a ton of allies, Canada, Great Britain, European, NATO.
I don't know.
But I don't think it'd be a good move with Russia and China, right? Because then how are they going to make all their products for the U.S.?
See, that's what I tell Michelle all the time. She's always China, China, China. I said, listen, if China wants somebody to sell, it's like being a drug dealer. If you're a drug dealer, you don't go shoot all the fucking druggies in town because ain't nobody to buy your shit. They can't.
Yeah.
We are the consumer for the world.
Right.
We spend money. What's killing me about the whole thing, since we're getting into this shit, and I didn't really want to do this, but the middle class America is what makes our whole country go. From everything from ballet lessons for kids, little league lessons, all that shit. That's middle class people that spend that extra money, and that's what makes our world go round. You get rid of the middle class, and we don't have a country like we have. So
yeah, absolutely. And the thing is there even a lower class in the United States of America anymore?
No, you're either middle class or dirt poor or very wealthy.
Right, exactly. So, because everyone I know has got 3 or 4 iPhones, computers, nice looking car.
Even the fucking poor people in our town all have iPhones.
Yes. No.
Yeah.
And braces on their teeth. The government's paying for all of it, but they fucking got it.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And I had read that, or I'd heard, burglaries are pretty much non-existent anymore because everybody's got a fucking iPhone now. Everybody's got a flat screen TV. So, like, nobody steals shit hardly anymore.
We had theft here last night.
What'd they steal?
A bunch of diesel out of a truck.
Diesel's fucking expensive. That's tough to get to.
That's still theft.
No. Home invasions and burglaries are down. Nobody steals shit hardly anymore. Now, listen, I'm talking in generalities. I'm not saying that there's not a fucking cat burglar anymore. But if you look at crime and burglaries from 40, 50 years ago, it was way higher than it is today because consumer goods were too expensive.
I'll tell you another reason why, and you're going to disagree with this. And, Patrick, I'm sorry you're having to listen to this shit because
you started it, Patrick.
That's fine.
People don't break into houses anymore because everybody's got a Ring DoorDash or something like that, and they get caught.
Sure.
More. That's made a big difference on that also.
And nobody has to steal anymore because everybody's got a flat screen TV. Everybody's got an iPhone. Everybody's got a refrigerator.
I still disagree with you.
Here he goes again, Patrick.
Druggies are stealing shit left and right to pay for their habits.
Diesel.
Well, that's stealing.
Yeah, well, I'll just tell you, I paid $4.19 the other day for regular gas where I live. And I felt like I was being stolen from myself.
That's, I can put a lot of stuff on Joe Biden. I mean, there's a long fucking list. But gasoline prices are not all his fault because that's a privately traded what's the word I'm looking for? Good, I guess would be the word for it. So that's not his
commodity, right?
Right, but some of his policies have made it that way. Gas prices were going down with Trump and staying steady. Now, the oil field in Texas under Trump was struggling some, not a lot. Oil field should be booming right now with the price of gasoline the way it is. But gasoline prices are so much higher than a barrel of oil prices should be. I don't know what oil's trading at, $80 a barrel right now, and gas is $4 in Missouri or in Washington State. When gas was $110 a barrel, it was still $4 a gallon out there. So there's a difference there that's lacking. What are you looking up, Andy?
Well, in Washington State, I mean, they pay almost $1 a gallon, I believe, on taxes. And then, of course, if you don't have the truck drivers to get it up here, right, it's just like all the container ships trying to be shipped out with the warehouses. That's going to add more cost to the gas too. Yeah,
this whole everything is this trucker deal is. I don't know the answer to any of that, but we're definitely in some trying times, and the price of fuel is going to change a lot of things. Like I was never thinking about getting in a vehicle and driving across the country. Didn't think nothing about bothering me. But shit, at $4 a gallon, you start talking about filling up costing you $100.
Yeah, it's super expensive. Yep,
it
adds up.
It is. When we were buying gas 3 years ago for $1.49.
Yeah.
Did you not look up and find the stuff you needed?
It's
Andy?
down 37% since 2008.
Yeah, and I said the Doreen cab, but there's still a lot of crime going on.
It's down 37% since 2008. So
okay,
it's fine. That's
but
a
your
third.
reason
that's
why is because everybody has a cell phone. They don't steal no more.
No, it's because the price of goods has gone down. So it's in the floor. You don't have to steal. You don't have to steal these things.
Price
anymore.
of goods is down. A fucking cell phone's $1,000.
Yeah, but everybody's got a way of getting it somehow.
Yeah, the government buys a lot of them.
Everybody's got a way of getting it somehow. Everybody's got a fucking PlayStation 4 and an Xbox One. Everybody's got all this shit.
I don't have
now.
any of those.
Yes, you do, Jeff.
What?
Patrick, how did you find this podcast? I'm sorry that you're a part of this.
Yeah. So I'll just tell you, I don't know, I think it's like 2.5 years ago or whatever. I had a buddy that was on social media, and he just mentioned it one day because I was going out to my duck spot because it's public. So I had to get there like 2 in the morning to, secure it. And I was just scrolling through Facebook, and he mentioned your podcast on there, and I'm like, huh. So I clicked on it, and I got and downloaded it, and while I was waiting for the sun to come up, I listened to one of you guys' podcasts. And ever since then, you guys are just a pretty fun group of, you and Jeff, pretty fun guys, seems like. And then all your guests that you have come on are pretty informative, pretty cool guys, like regular Joes, that people can relate to.
Yeah.
Not like a Joe Rogan or Steve Rinella, but I tell you, I like Steve Rinella. But you guys just have the common folk on that want to talk about waterfowl and then all other kind of topics, too. So you just don't get to overload with duck and goose hunting, which I'm all about. But it's cool hearing from other folks with other aspects of, their life stories and things like that, like Coulter Barnes and folks like that.
Yeah, and that's been one of the I was talking to a guy that we got coming on here. He'll be on next week, but anyway, he was talking about the same thing, and he said what separates you guys is you branched out, and that's kind of what has separated us from other waterfowl podcasts is that we've, if you box yourself in and you only talk about waterfowl hunting, well, you're only scratching the surface of what a person is all about. Just like you. I mean, there's a common thread with waterfowl hunting, but if we weren't on air and we could talk about what all you do, it opens the floodgates on avenues that you can go down with different people. And if you keep the common thread of waterfowl hunting, but you can explore different avenues, it just makes the conversation that much more interesting. And I wanted this to seem like being in the blind with somebody. You don't just talk about waterfowl hunting when you're sharing a goose blind with somebody. You talk about everything. So that's one thing that we did, and I'm glad that we did it.
Yeah, that's very true, and that's what keeps it really interesting, just the life stories. And you're right, in the blind, that's where all the camaraderie is at.
Yes.
And that's where you find out about people's lives and what they did, or like military folks. And sometimes you find out that you been stationed at the same places or deployed at the same time to different, third world countries and got coffee at the same place in Kandahar and the boardwalk or whatever, right? Or you knew, people, because a lot of the folks I hung with are kind of like military related type guys that I know, and just kind of a common thread there. And then you just branch into the rabbit holes of people's lives, and people's lives are very interesting, and people come from all walks of life, right?
Yes.
So it's just neat that because I grew up in Wisconsin, right? Very rural.
Go Pack,
and,
go.
Yep, exactly. 13-time world NFL champs there.
That's right.
People want to, say that stat doesn't really exist, but it does. So I just want everyone to know that. So you grow up and kind of like boxed in to a certain culture, and then you join the army or move away or whatever, and you find out that there's a totally different world out there and full of different people with different backgrounds. And it's just very interesting. And, just like with the podcast, a lot of people start out in podcasts, but it seems like, if they're boxed in, they don't survive. Right. But you guys have done a great job, and I congratulate that. 500 episodes is pretty darn good. That's like a milestone, so.
Yeah. We're excited. We're excited to do that. So before we let you go, what's the biggest shithole country you've been to?
I would say, can we just make it 2? How about Kandahar, Afghanistan, and Baghdad, Iraq?
All shitholes.
Yeah, they got room for improvement. If they just build Walmarts and McDonald's there, I think it'd take care of a lot of problems. But that's not the mentality in that part of the world, right? And it's just never going to change. It'll never change whatsoever. That's how people are. They're boxed in, right? They have their blinders on, and they don't want to open up to the outside world and see what's good for the people, right? They just keep it within what they know and what they do.
I figured you was going to say San Francisco, so you beat me already there.
No, well, yeah, I'll just tell you, the I-5 corridor, Olympia, Tacoma or Compton, Seattle, like that's all on my list. I just absolutely cannot stand it because of the homelessness, the drug addicts, the mental health issues. It's all San Francisco, all that just combined is just absolutely ridiculous. And I don't know what the answer is, but something has to give, and people got to figure something out.
I mean, it doesn't matter how long we stayed over there. They were never going to accept our values and our culture, would they have?
No, it's just they just waited us out, right? That's what happened.
I mean, they're
and
barbarians.
Look how fast. Well, that's their way of life, That's just their culture, and that's how they operate. And no matter how much money or equipment you can throw at people, if they don't have the will to fight, to defend themselves or their own country, you saw what happened. They just got walked all over, and that was it. So now here we are. So we just gotta move forward and just defend the United States of America.
That's exactly.
They've been fighting in Afghanistan since I think 1980.
It's where empires go to die.
And that's 41 years of solid fighting. So if you take a guy that was 20 when it first started, he's in his 60s now. Mm-hmm. And that's his whole life has been the same shit. And I think it was probably a shithole before then, too.
Yeah, well, I'll just tell you, I was there in 2011, 2012 was the last time I was there. But my nephew, he's just 20. He just got back I was in Kandahar during that time. And then he just got back from Kandahar. He's an Army reservist. And so he was one of the last few units that were left over there. But, yeah, he was a baby or whatever when, very young, not baby, but when I was there. And then it's just kind of crazy that he's in the same spots that I was at,
10 years later.
So it's just a long time. Yeah, it's just a long time, right? So, long time.
Well, listen, I'm glad. I'm glad. Even though we bungled the exit, I'm glad that we're out of there. I'm glad you're safely home, and we appreciate you listening to the podcast. And how much longer you got till you retire?
No, I retired from active duty in 2018, but I went back as a civilian.
Yes.
So technically, 5 years you're vested in your federal employee retirement system. So I got another 18 months till I hit that 5-year mark. And then I'm going to figure out what I want to do, stick around, or what I want to do when I grow up, and maybe do something else.
Well, very good. Well, listen, you stay safe out there. Like I said, we appreciate you listening to the podcast. And if you ever get down this way, look us up.
Patrick, thank you. Thank you for your service, and I appreciate having your number in case I ever need you out there. I do appreciate that very much.
Yeah, no, yeah. Hey, if you ever need something up here, especially with your son, you just let me know. No biggie whatsoever. If you guys come up this way, you should come out to Grace Harbor County because I live coastal. And if anyone's listening out there, the water fountain is horrible out there. Don't ever come out to Grace Harbor or Willapa or anything like that. Just stay inland, and leave us alone. But, yeah, no, I appreciate it, gentlemen, and thanks for the call.
Hey, thank you, sir. God bless you, bud.
Bye. Who are we going to take next, Jeff?
Who do you got left on there?
There's a bunch of people.
Are those cookies everything you've heard about them?
Clay Reed just walked in. We'll do a couple more calls and then we'll get to Clay. We'll call Ted Wells and then we'll call Johnny Manuel. How's that sound?
I do not care. Whatever you want to do.
You're fasting. You're fucking looking slim and trim.
Hello.
Ted, what are you doing?
You again gained 500.
What's up?
Not much. Just checking in with you. How are things in Montana?
Oh, not cold enough.
Well, no. It's 92 here today, so I feel you.
It's going to be like 65 here today.
Now, y'all got some winter coming, though, don't you?
I haven't seen it.
I thought I saw a minute ago that you in Bozeman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had snow not too long ago. I saw on your Instagram, didn't you? You were hunting in it.
Yeah, we had like 8 inches a week and a half ago, and now it's gone. And
Now-
it's bright and sunny.
It just evaporated. Now, you were hunting. What was it? It was a little creek, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be.
I've shot that a few times. That thing's badass.
Yeah, you're going to be in the 40s for the highs most of the time. You don't even have really a freeze coming again.
Nope.
That's crazy. Now, Dakotas are going to have a front. I guess we're getting Alberta Clipper because they're going to be in the low 30s and get down in the teens a week from this weekend. Or no, this weekend.
No shit.
This
I've not seen that.
Yeah. Saturday, high 43. Saturday night, 22. High 36 on Sunday and 18 and 34 Monday with a low of 14 in around Minot. So I guess that's coming out of Saskatchewan and miss y'all or Alberta. I mean.
Yeah, it's not hitting us.
That's crazy. So that little creek that you hunt, that's just like a little solo place that you like to go to?
Yeah, it's a new little spot I found that actually went and shot some family photos for a rancher and kind of walked back there and we were shooting photos in their backyard and I was like, do y'all hunt ducks back here? And they're like, well, I shoot deer out my kitchen window with my 22 mag. I'm like, do you want me to hunt ducks? They're like, you can hunt anytime you want. And I'm like, no shit. So I've been there 3 times already. And last Wednesday I went out and shot 4 greenheads and I decoyed 2 big ass Canadas into that little hole. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw that. It looked like a really good time. So how was your trip to South Texas?
I did not go this year.
What happened?
COVID.
Oh no.
Yeah.
We had a recirculation of that around Knox City also about
Around
the same
that time that you were supposed to probably be going, yeah.
Yep.
So
this New York and that.
Did you get sick yourself?
Huh?
Did you have it or did your close
Whole
contact?
family again.
Ooh. Again? Y'all had it twice now?
Yeah. Twice.
Ooh. Gee.
Shit show.
What a mess. Did you get sick this time?
Not really. I felt like shit for probably a day or 2 and then had some kind of leftover symptoms like swelling around my heart type situations for a while, so I had to dial back a little bit.
Oh. That's terrible.
Really weird. Yeah.
You had swelling around your heart?
Yep. I had the lining around your heart just was swollen. I had a episode where I felt like shit and went in and they did a EKG and all the things and my lining around my heart was swollen from COVID.
Wow.
My dad had that after he had open heart surgery. That sac that's on it.
The pericardium.
Yep.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pericardium.
Jeff, I just fucking amazed you, don't I, Jeff?
Yeah, you took that anatomy class. You made a C in it. Everybody else made a A that was going to doctor school. But
you know what the lining around your stomach's called?
You fucking nailed it.
You know what the lining around your stomach's called, Jeff?
No.
Paranecium.
Okay, well, good.
That's right.
You know what that's called? That little skin between your asshole and your dick?
Your tank.
It's called an Andy Shaver.
Oh, the asshole. Yeah.
So
Ain't asshole.
Yeah, the worthless skin. So you had COVID again, and did your wife or anybody else get real sick, or did they have the minor symptoms?
No, we kind of passed right through it. It was no big deal, but
because she's pregnant.
As a whole, yeah, we're waiting on a baby any day here.
Oof, that had to be scary.
Yeah.
Was her doctor freaking out that this was going around in your house?
I mean, there was some concern for sure, but nothing crazy. Just kind of hunker in and wait it out.
So now, what are your plans? Where all are you going? Where are you traveling now to? What's your plans?
Well, I'm gonna get through this baby first. I'm kind of on hold right now. Get through this baby, and then probably Salt Plains Outfitters is the first stop for Lucky Duck on November 12th, if I can make it.
Oof. Your
baby's due in 5 days.
Your wife is patient.
Yeah, because If you were secretary,
Yeah, I'm pushing it.
Yeah.
you're not getting that paid 2 months off like the
Buttigieg?
government employees get.
No, hell no.
Could you imagine
But
having
I
to
figure,
stay home
you know,
for 2
we
months?
get through this baby, then I mean, if she's home, why do I got to be home,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Oh,
You know?
man.
I think the same thing. That's exactly what I think too.
So that
I mean, it's not going to work for me, but that's my
Yeah.
thought.
so that you can suffer together. That's what my wife would tell me. We had Reese. His birthday was yesterday, October 25th, and I tell you what, having to go back to work, quick turnaround like that. He was also our first one, so it was a lot. I don't know. You know how a new mother is, but yeah, I don't know. That's pushing it, I would say.
Yeah, it is. But she wants me to go to work too, so good.
Yeah. Like, listen, if you like heat in the house, then I'm going to have to go do this.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of the thing, right?
Yeah.
So we'll probably do salt plains a couple times and then 737 visit, I'm sure, and whatever else comes up, I suppose.
Well, very good.
Looks like we're going to have a little bit of a push, a winter push finally too, right next week. So that'll really help that area up there a bunch.
I think so. We have a lot of ducks up here right now. They're just really spread out.
But we don't have very many here. We got a lot of geese here now, but we don't have any ducks really.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised. I went in there Wednesday and, Saturday, I took my daughter and we shot the piss out of them on Saturday, ducks and geese in a field. And then I snuck in there on Wednesday in that little hole. And I shot 4 big green heads, like big northern birds for sure. So they're on the move, I think, slowly. I don't know if it's calendar birds or what, because we haven't had a ton of weather, but they're coming.
Yeah, they'll get here eventually. But they're all scattered out. But is that just because of how warm it is right now? They're not having to bunch up in big numbers?
Yeah, there's just so much water open, little tiny potholes here, there, and everywhere, and river systems and all the things. And we just need a bunch of shit to freeze up.
Push them all together.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah. And then it'll be February, and everybody will be tired of all that white shit on the ground, and we'll be ready for warmer days.
No kidding.
That's usually how it goes. Well,
Standard.
we've made 500 episodes, and we appreciate you coming on as many times as you have. You've been a great guest every time, and we just want to...
Congrats, guys. I'm proud of you guys. It's badass.
Thank you, man. We appreciate it very
it.
much, and we look forward to having you on again, and hope you have a wonderful season, and congrats on that baby.
Absolutely. Thank you. Keep in touch.
Yes, sir, we will. Be safe, Ted.
Thank you.
All right, boys.
Bye.
Take care.
One more. Johnny Manini.
Hello.
John, what are you doing? It's Andy Shaver with the Big Honker Podcast.
What up, Andy?
How are you, bud?
Pretty good, man.
I can. Yeah. How are you? You doing good?
Yeah, I've been good. I'm actually at the tail end of my workout here.
The Flying Hawaiian, John. How are you, sir?
Pretty good, sir. How you guys doing?
Good.
Well, I was pissed Brady keeps winning and looking like he's 27 again. I bet that makes you happy every day, don't it?
Oh, yeah, I jerk off to it sometimes.
You're going to wear that thing out by the time Super Bowl gets here, probably the way he's going.
And if he plays 10 more years,
know,
like
right?
he's saying.
Yeah, I don't
Right,
see
right.
I don't see him retiring for a while. I kept thinking, this will be his last year, but why would he? I mean, he's loving life. Hell, he might get to play with his own kids one day.
I keep saying,
All
like,
right.
what does he have to prove? But I don't think he's playing to prove anything.
He likes playing football.
Nah. He just likes playing football. He's even said it.
Yep, he likes playing football, and he does. And everybody now, it's like, well, he's too old, and so he's got to prove something. His next milestone is to play
Right.
at 50 years old. How old is he now?
43? 44.
44.
44? Yeah, that's his goal
Yeah.
now is to play to 50.
Yeah, in a recent interview, he talked about, like, he could play to 55 if he wanted to or something.
He's going to be the only player in NFL history to go from getting a check to getting a retirement check the next year.
Right?
AARP.
You know, there shouldn't be a 5-year grace period for when they give him the yellow, his yellow jacket. They should just give it to him right away.
No shit. If he plays into his 60s, the motherfucker might not live 5 years past that.
Right.
I think
Die of old age
I
before he
think a
retires.
great thing would be for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to sign Terrell Owens so Terrell Owens can finally maybe win a Super Bowl and let him come back
Oh,
with his
shit.
gold green. Because I'll bet Terrell Owens can still play football.
Yeah, I bet he could too, and it'd be fitting because he's kind of a mental case,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a
and
fuck
Brady
up.
will, Brady will whisper him down. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like he
saw
did with Antonio Brown.
I saw a funny thing the other day that said, before we call Brady the GOAT, let's give him one more test. Let's send him to the Jets and see how he does.
Right?
I mean, if he can turn that shit
That'd
show
be the ultimate
organization
test.
around, I mean, if he can turn that around, I'll give it to him.
Well,
hands down.
Let's be honest. Brady's not.
Well,
Brady
that-
didn't go to a ghetto team. He went to a team that was fully loaded. They just had a quarterback. Look at New Orleans. New Orleans was a very good, viable offense until Jameis Winston took over. They're pedestrian like
Right.
now. Now they don't have Michael Thomas,
Right.
but they're just not very good on offense. Brady went to a team that was loaded. I mean, Jameis Winston threw 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions with them. I mean, they have a lot of talent there. So it's not like he went to an empty cupboard.
Yeah, and again, Brady always makes that sacrifice in his pocket, to win.
Yes, he does. He's an ultimate team player. There's no doubt about that.
Right.
So you're doing
What I like about him.
you're doing
Rehab.
rehab today. Is that still going good?
Oh yeah, I did my hour of PT, and I'm actually doing some weight training. I do that every day. Weight training.
I'm going to tell you the best story about John's story is, and the things that touches me the most is the people he works for. Now, you work for good people, don't you?
Yes, sir, I do.
I've invited John to come
Yes,
up and
sir, I
hunt with
do.
us, and he says when I can get back to go hunting, I need to go to work because those people have kept me on the payroll for the whole time, and I respect that from both
Yeah.
you and them a lot, and my hat's off to them.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
good people.
yeah.
Because if fucking Andy ain't coming to work, I ain't sending him a fucking check.
Right? Yeah, I'm super fortunate, super blessed. I mean, I can't. There's no words for me. I can't say enough about the company I work for, the family I work for.
Yeah.
That speaks a lot. That speaks a lot of you that they want to do that for you, John. Be honest, I appreciate you being on here.
Yeah.
You're a big part of our fight. You've been here from the very start. I've had to
Pretty
listen.
much. I think I started listening at like episode 23 when I found you guys.
Well, you've been
So
on.
yeah, it's been fun.
You've been here. You give me shit all the time about your fucking 49ers and Tom Brady all the time. And you've been on here so long that Tom Brady was with New England when you started talking shit to me. So, anyways.
Right. And yeah, my 49ers aren't getting so healthy right now.
No,
No,
they're not. It's
not-
gonna be-
Oh, it's terrible. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
but we do. We appreciate you listening. We appreciate you being with us from the start, and
Yes, sir.
we're
I appreciate you guys.
We look forward to seeing you, and I want to see your fat ass up here one day with me hanging out and eating a cookie, okay?
Well, I'll be not so fat ass.
Well, that's what I want. The thinner John up here with me hanging out. But, John, we appreciate you, bud. Take care of yourself.
All right,
And,
man.
God bless you.
You guys the same. Thanks.
Thank you.
see you, bud.
All right. We've got a ton of people still want to call, but we're gonna have to nail this at the end. We got one last story we're gonna tell. The legend himself, Johnny Clay Reed,
Johnny Clay Reed, take your.
is gonna tell one story, and then we're gonna be done with this. And then we're gonna do a whole new podcast with Clay after this. But we're gonna do were those cookies? Was that the first time you've had those cookies?
That is the first time I had them cookies.
Are they as good as they say?
Yes, but it helps that I'm starving right now, so hell, boot leather would take the delicious.
I don't think Michelle's
they
gonna
were
take that
damn-
as a compliment.
Well, it is. They're damn good.
Take it or leave it. It's a
But I ain't
compliment.
hungry.
Now she makes something I think is better than her cookies that we have up here all the time, and that is bread pudding. She makes homemade bread pudding at night here a lot.
Dude, I never even heard of goddamn bread pudding until you know Greg Bloodworth, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, well, Greg, he come over there and he's got that food truck, and he'd come over there and they had bread pudding all the time, but I never would eat it. It's hell, bread pudding, you don't
Yeah.
sound like it ought to be tasty.
Right.
Well, he cooked for the rehearsal dinner of Dawson's wedding here a couple weeks ago, And good Lord, I took a bite of that shit, and I mean, it was like
It's good.
Eating a blowjob. It was that damn good. I mean, it was awesome. Yeah, and what was bad is he had one of his fireman buddies there was two of them there. They were in the wedding with him, and I said, boys, y'all better get over here and get some of that bread pudding. And they was like, bread pudding? There ain't no fucking bread pudding. And I said, dude, I'm telling you, hell, that one old boy went back 5 times. He was about empty the bread pudding.
Cinnamon roll on a spoon is what it is.
Oh my God, it was, I never even heard of it.
Michelle's dad loved it, and so she'd make it for him. And then when he passed away, she started making it kind of as a deal for her. I guess it kind of made her feel good, like.
Right.
And so she started making it, and she made it up here one night. She's like, man, I don't know. And she made it up here, man. Everybody loved it. And she makes it. She does a homemade whiskey sauce on it. Shit's good.
I'll be damned.
But she makes it, we have it 2 times a week.
She made it one time with too much whiskey, and I almost had to fucking call a driver to pick my ass up.
Well, here's where this little story gets funny, because there was a little bit of that left. There was a pan of that bread pudding left.
Yeah.
So after the wedding, me and them two firemen was over there and was like, hey, you got any more of that bread pudding? I said, yeah, she saved a pan for us, but she's heating it up right now. I said, well, make damn sure we get some of that bread pudding before it gets out. So me and these two boys, Jake and Reed, we're over there waiting at the deal. And, God dang, that shit ain't never going to get ready. This is at the wedding. You know, we got all the people there and all that. And then all of a sudden, little Jody Bullard comes over, and he goes, man, this is the best damn bread pudding I ever had. What? You can't be eating that goddamn bread pudding after us. He goes, well, it's a whole pan of it. It's almost gone over there.
Oh, no.
My dad had found it, and he had taken that shit out of there. Well, when he broke it open, it went like, wow.
Oh, shit's good.
We like to kill 3 people getting over there to it.
We have it here about twice a week, and it's getting where she gets a request for it now from everybody that comes up. We're going to have bread pudding. So it's getting to be where it's more and more like the cookies every day they expect. Now they're expecting every night to have bread pudding. And it's I don't know. I see it being 5 times a night. We're going to have you tell one story, then we're going to get off this 500 episode.
All right. I guess we're going to tell the titty bar story.
Yes.
Do I have to? I mean, that's
a good story.
I mean, I've had to go through several weeks of therapy over that deal. But anyway, a little background deal. We were at a rodeo, and we were supposed, me and my buddy Sam and my other buddy Gary, and I won't mention any last names anymore because I've almost I've had assassination attempts on my life. So we're going to go with Sam and Gary. But we were supposed to we were at the Texas Ranch Roundup, and we were supposed to meet our old ladies at lunch to take them out to eat. And we were at the trade shows, you know, checking out Spurs and all that. Well, we run into Gary. Well, Gary is not a very good influence, powerful influence. He's a good an influence, but not the way you need to be.
Right.
So he said, hell, let's run down here to the It'll Do. We'll go get some beer. And I said, well, shit, hell, let's go. So we head down to the It'll Do. Well, then It'll Do, we go to Lonesome Dove. And Lonesome Dove, we go over to the water hole. Well, next thing you know, it's about 10 o'clock at night. And we went way past the wife deal. We don't even know where the hell they're at. But old Gary said, hell, let's go to Titty Bar. I said, shit, I'm all over the game. Of course, about this time, I'm kind of a non-functional unit because I've got enough alcohol in me that I'm in the spirit world. But we pulled into this deal, and there was it used to be the old Wildcatter, and then they turned it into shit, I can't remember, baby dolls or whatever. But anyway, in the back behind the main titty bar, but they had opened up a new titty bar in the back. And
the rough one.
It was like a generic titty bar because it was back in the alley over there. And I said, shit, that's up our alley. That's us. And I said, let's go try it out. Satin Dolls. I'll never forget. Your Satin Dolls. So we get out to the Satin Dolls, and we get in there, and we walk in there, and we order a beer, and we sit there. And, of course, we're on Pervert Row. We're on the front row. We want, visual. Yeah, we want right there. And we were praying that, you remember the one-armed bandit?
Yes, the
slot machine. We were praying that the one-armed bandit didn't come.
I'm assuming she's dead.
Yeah, well, I would hope so. But at this point, at that time, at the end of this story, I would have welcomed the one-armed bandit.
For everybody don't know, the one-armed bandit was a one-armed stripper in Wichita Falls in the 80s and 90s.
Yes. And
now, hold on. Have you seen the one-armed bandit?
Yes. Yes, so we've seen the one-armed bandit. And she used to wear a lot of bruises. Because I don't know where she got all the bruises. She had a rough life.
probably fucking followed for trying to do
her
that.
pimp put a number on her several times, but
I thought she just fell on
either
stage.
she could have failed. Hell, she couldn't put one arm down.
You remember Sidewinder that used to walk the streets of Scott, the old gal that walked sideways all the time? Oh, yeah, she's a rough one, too. But go ahead.
So anyway, we're up there on Pervert Row, and, like I say, I got my beer goggles on pretty good, and I've got Sam to the right of me and Gary to the left of me, and all of a sudden I hear, the announcer. He's got that big, deep voice. It's kind of like a radio announcer. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Wichita Falls, the lovely Angie. And I turned and I looked, and it's my goddamn sister. and I like to fell over backwards. Her big ass giant titties are hanging out. And she sees me, and she was like, happy to see me. And she goes, hi, Clay. She waves at me. Hi. I was like, no, I'm blind. I covered my hoop. I almost puked just talking about it just then. So I run back to it, and it really, it was kind of shocking for the moment, but it turned out she was part owner in this Satin Dolls, so I got free beer and half price tips. So hell, when she danced, I'd go back there and play pool, and then when door number 2 come out, all right, it's your turn. You can come in now. Yeah. Yeah, it was bad.
Your buddies didn't get a lap dance or anything from her?
No. That's when Sam got divorced that night. Yeah, because Sam a little bit later, Sam's over there, and he's laying on his back on the stage, got a dollar bill in his mouth, and he's got one of them strippers doing the splits over the top of him. He's going to put that dollar in her G-string with his mouth, and of course, all of a sudden I look over there and the door opens, and it's my wife now, girlfriend then, but his wife come walking in the door. And by this time, it's like 11 o'clock. And we're supposed to be
long lunch.
Yeah. And I tapped over Sam. I said, Sam. He said, don't bother me. I'm busy. He's got that dollar bill in his mouth, so he's mumbling. I said, don't bother me. I said, look over your left shoulder. And he looked over that left shoulder, and he seen his old lady, and he spit that dollar up in there. Poof. And he goes, oh, shit. He said, this ain't going to be good. And he was exactly right. We went outside, got outside, and they got in one hell of a fight. And my girlfriend, she was trying to fight with me, but like I say, I was a non-functional unit. Okay, I'm sorry. It was bad. But yeah, I could write a book on that whole night. It was horrible, but yeah, you might be a redneck if you go to the titty bar to watch your sister dance.
Well, folks, that's our 500th episode, and that is my favorite story that we've had on this whole thing. The whole time, that is my favorite story of anyone's
I'm
story.
glad it's yours. I got to go puke now.
Shit. Well, listen, from the bottom of our heart, ladies and gentlemen, 500 episodes has gone by in a hurry, and we look forward to bringing you at least 500 more. Appreciate everybody listening, and that's all I got.
Goodbye.
Amen? Bye.
God bless. Amen. God dang, Clay, that's my favorite story.
God damn it.
My second favorite.
Now
story.
Go check out all of our sponsors. Check out Shin Gear Waders, Steak Plains Meats, Looking Glass Duck Club Podcast, Gundog Outdoors, Goose Creek Retrievers, Bangtail Whiskey, Eyesight Drones, Stanfield Hunting Outfitters, Pacific Calls, Boss Shot Shells, Dive Bomb Industries, Dirty Duck Coffee, and Lucky Duck.